Osama, welcome to Unity Partners. It's a pleasure to have you today
I'm
for
very
this
excited,
podcast. I
Sada.
think it's a great opportunity to learn about the digital platform and the impact of digital CRM and why it's important. And that's what's all about we will cover. But nevertheless, we'll go with the flow and we will discuss more how that's Udo or any other similar digital platform helping those SMEs. What we're targeting in this conversation is, or what the message we want to convey to our audience is how important, and that's the next question to you, is how important having a digital integrated in your business as SMEs, and doesn't matter the number of employees you have and the number of transactions you have, why it's important to start with digital. From day one, you are digital in the business. So over to you.
Thank you for this kind introduction. Honestly, it's a pleasure for me to be here at Unity Partners and to discuss this. The question you asked is something really cool. The main factor of digitization or digital transformation is quote unquote sustainability, right? Today, you're in a market where SMEs are racing towards each other to reach the customer, to understand the customer, to understand either whatever they provide, either from services to retail to all of that. And it all falls down under the idea of harnessing data. In digital transformation, you have a lot of operations happening on a day-to-day activity from different departments, your sales teams, your customer services as well, accountants, multiple transactions happening from all across the different departments. So when you're on a digital level, you get to have a bird's eye view on all your operations, and you learn how to fix, let's say, certain challenges that you might have in a company, and you learn how to scale up a company, moving it from a startup maybe to a medium enterprise, and then hopefully to a larger enterprise. And this is where you understand how does your company scale up.
100%, because when you think about the startup, and that's where we meet like on daily basis with a few really promising companies, and when we speak about digital, how important for sales, tracking, and data. At the same time, it is my personal opinion is, and I understand that digital transformation help with increasing sales, reducing cost by having that interaction. How do you think that's also can maintain especially in the service industry like ours, to maintain a personal touch in everything you do, knowing your customer, understanding the need of your customers, and understanding also what they want, and how the data is helping you also to do more analysis and to understand the behavior of the customers and the trend.
That's a heavy one.
It's more than one.
Yeah, you give me a heavy one.
Yeah.
Fine. If we break it down to a couple of, let's say, let's segment the question.
Yes.
Cool. To begin with, when you're on a startup level or any kind of level, you have your normal operations, right? So let's take it for sales, and let's bring it down to the environment that they live in. Let's say this company started off in Dubai, right? In Dubai, you have a lot of multinational clients that you can be dealing with on a day-to-day activity. And as you know, it's very fast-paced. So let's take it as a very simple salesperson coming to his work or her work, and they're doing their calls, right? They need to log this. They need to understand what have they been promising the client, what they were talking to the client, and all of that. That falls under the client relationship management, which is basically the CRM. When you're dealing on the CRM, this allows you to always stay on your feet, correct? So, of course, with logs, you can always have your own personal touches. I had this conversation with this guy, I did this, I promised them this. Let's see where this goes, right? So from a personal perspective, it's right there. Now, how do we cater to this data later on? Today, when we have met, let's say in any sales job, you have a quarter, right? And you had a very successful quarter, or maybe you had a very slow quarter. Now, we have all these data that happened in this, let's say, monthly operation. We can pull it and read it and understand what happened, right? Maybe our price is way too high. Maybe we needed to offer a promotion in slow month. Maybe we needed to cater to a new service or create a new service. So there's a lot of maybes. There's a lot of things that can come up and arise from this. And this is how you can actually learn, get up on your feet, and then continue moving forward and scaling.
What you said is absolutely spot on, because when let me speak from client perspective using the digital platform, I think there's terms used in compliance to say, okay, KYC, you know your customer, but where we use it in our digital platform, really to know our customers, and that's data go inside the system of the CRM, will always make sure more you feed the system, more data you have, and more you understand who your client is, and you really build relationship. Go back to, I'm coming from hospitality background, and back days we used to know our guests from coming in. We remember the face, we remember the preferences. I was working with the international hotel chain, but the same guest, when he go to the same sister hotel, he's unknown person.
100%.
He still need to introduce himself, his preferences, whether it's sparkling water or prefer wake up call early morning, or gluten meal, whatever it is. I'm just referring to my previous background. That solution, as I remember, it was introduced to you through 15 years ago in one of the hotel business I used to work with, where they implemented something called the Cherish program, where you put data, and that's I witnessed how important this data and that's information, where you will move it somewhere else. Now the technology evolved much more now,
yes,
right? And that's information really helping, in my opinion. That's to maintain the personalized services and keep it at one touch point, where you are a known customer, you are a loyal customer. We know who you are, and we know what you want, and we know what you need. That's from customer service perspective. From sales perspective, I agree with you, because the data and the leads and everything, something could be for today, something can be for future sale, but at least if you have it in the system, on a strong CRM system, you still can track it, and you build rapport with the customer, and you still can do a follow-up because you have that information. So I just want to agree with you, and I like terms that you used during the conversation. Keep it simple and stupid. And my apology for that. The phrase I used. Cool. But simple and stupid is the thing where we need to have it very simple and easy. Can you explain to me how Odoo implemented that and make it very simple?
Perfect. Actually, the way you structured it as well comes across to what I do on a day-to-day basis. So I consult a lot of my clients, especially when they come to Odoo, into mimicking their day-to-day activities. So you said something very important. Let's say today, if I'm working here, I have a set criteria of things I need to do while I'm onboarding a client. Cool. It being KYC, it being collecting documents, it being sharing documents as well. So once we have an ERP, or where Odoo fits, right, it moves from a CRM level to an enterprise resource planning tool for you to automate most of your workflows. So today, as a salesperson, you give them the tools for them to run and personalize, especially with the customers. So bringing it down to your humble background in the days of hospitality, you said something very nice. What would differentiate one hospitality establishment to another is when I come here, they know me by name, they know exactly what I want, I feel home, I feel safe. Cool. And then I can actually listen, because most customers, when they come to you, they always come with a defense mechanism, right? When you make them feel like home, they go like, okay, now I need to hear them. They need to hear you more. All right, let's rephrase.
Hello. They will edit.
Edit out.
Please edit this one. Okay.
All right. So,
yeah. No, that's a great example what you give. Now, you use the term of ERP, and use it several times. And I understand ERP, portal, everything is a platform now. Today, we're living in the era of blockchain, AI. Do you see the word enterprise ERP or portal? It's becoming an outdated, and that's the future. It's
another heavy one. Honestly, like with AI, with blockchain, these are technologies. okay, that we can use to cater to this data. An ERP would never change. An ERP in basic, simple, let's say we're talking to a 5-year-old kid, it's a database. You're building a database. If we go back in time, let's say it was a folder where you have a lot of files, right? Now, back then you had a normal folder, then it transitioned to a binder, then it transitioned to colorful, then Microsoft Word, then color coding and all of that. As you see, this technology that was very small was just building upon the base. When you have a database, now when you have AI can help you build better rapport. Before AI, you had BI, business intelligence. So I had a lot of data, but I wanted a computer to tell me what to take actions on. So I feed it the data, and then I do, like, for example, Accenture. Accenture is a business intelligence where you feed this data and it gives you what to do. Like, let's say if you do this, it would give you a 50% return on revenue based on what you fed me. Where's the feeding coming from? It's from the database. Today, AI is used in multiple levels, either creating letters, creating things from ChatGPT to, but as well. Today, we released AI integrations with Odoo as well to help our customers, for example, on a day-to-day activity when they're working on the ERP level, to create commands. So we simplified their life with the use of AI, but again, you can't use AI without a database.
So the ERP will always be the base, and now what I noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, you will have even mid or large enterprise, they use comprehensive and they invest a lot on portal ERP digital solutions. What's happening is the most of the portal, because some of them really kind of complex and people prefer in their comfort zone to use it to a certain extent, where you can make a better use if you feed the system with more data. And so when you onboard a new client, what do you think the type of training and what do you think they should know to start from day one as feeding the system with the educate and the proper data that they can use it at a later stage?
Great. That's a nice one. So, like, okay, let's differentiate. At the earlier stages, Odoo was only targeting SME startups. Very recently, me and a group of humble sales captains, we call them like our ninjas, we decided to tackle the large organizations. For us to tackle the large organizations, we realized that the way they see things and the way they require things on an ERP level is completely different from a normal startup. Why? Because you have a lot of other shareholders, a lot of decision makers, compared to someone who just opened a company, him and his brother, for example. You call them, do you want an accounting software? Yes, oh great, we give you a better system, here you go. They're happy, customer happy, they onboard really quickly. But when you have a large organizations, you're talking about localizations. You're talking about, let's say, certain rules and conditions, lawmakers in terms of today. Let's say you have, you're setting up an ERP. One of the main factors is your accounting and your HR, صح? Within the HR level, over here you have, let's say, certain rules and conditions, certain things, let's say particular leaves, they're very controlled, they're very systematic. But you want a system that adapts to that. Today, when Odoo started opening up to different markets, for example, Saudi, we have rules like Zatka.
Yes.
We need to have a QR code on the invoicing,
So
their
you need
taxes.
to adapt to the local rules and regulations.
And you want a system that actually can adapt with you to grow further. In terms of the onboarding, how do we do it? It starts off with the discovery. It starts off with creating a small business analysis, a gap or a return on investment study, where we sit down with decision makers with a single point of contact. We get to understand their business as is today. How does Firas conduct his business as is? And then we match it with the to be. How can we fit with you to go to a new perspective, a new spectrum of, let's say, your future way of dealing with things, either in efficiency, either in customizations, because not every company runs the same way.
Correct.
And then moving forward, you understand the localization that you are in. You might have branches. So we cater to that as well. And then we have the onboarding level where we take them in groups. So we understand workflows. Let's say the financial workflow, we take the financial team, we make them adapt, understand, see the as is and the to be. Okay, and then when they're ready, we finish with that phase. We go to the second sprint of, let's say, the sales team. So by the time one team is done, you finish the whole project, and there you go. You have a system that you can use on a day-to-day activity, and everybody is onboarded in a correct format. Large organizations as well, sometimes they don't need a full ERP system. Let's say when you have a very large company, certain departments start needing tools. So you need a very flexible system that can integrate with other ERPs. You see that in large organizations that cater to manufacturing, for example, because over there they care about the single, let's say, fills, where is it going, so that we understand how to scale up. Definitely you would realize that you need more tools, you need more systems, you need more things to mesh up the operations and make sure that the sustainability continues.
Correct, and just allow me to add also, that's what you're offering basically is you understand the business, you customize it, you build the process around, you train the people, you show them what it is and how it's going to be, and they can see the value. Beside that, what I think it's important, and at Unity Partner, really we recommend people from day one to have a CRM, even in the basic one, because you need to build also the habit. Mm-hmm. The minute you start with shareholder, then it become 10, will become 20, 30. And if you introduce that at later stage, so basically what's happening, you're losing the data of your client who you built in the past, and it's difficult to build a new pattern of behaviors for the people to accept a new system.
True.
But when you start from day one with the system and you start building on that one, you see opportunity also of customization. How does it suit? It's trial and error at the same time, but in a year it is sustainable and effective.
I agree with you, and I see this in Saudi a lot. So it's a double-edged sword, right? Certain, let's say, markets, they didn't know any better in going with the digital world, right? They had digital, let's say, knowledge, but they didn't adapt. Today, for example, Saudi decided that in a day that no, everybody needs to be everybody needs to transform digitally. Everybody needs to have an e-invoicing. Everybody. So you realized you had a market that is saturated in two perspectives. One are new startups that are adapting your way of, let's go from the start digitally, we build it correctly, and then we adapt. And you had companies that were 70, 20, 30 years old that was with pen and paper. So I do agree with what you're saying. It was really hard for them to adapt.
Change the mindset.
Exactly. And the onboarding, it is very difficult. You cannot just plug and play. You can't just tell the end user, which is basically the employee, that, okay, today, whatever you've been doing for the past 30 years, stop, do it this way. It doesn't work like that. So it becomes more expensive.
You find it more difficult when you go into a company which is mature in the business when it's come to implementation.
And it's more expensive for them. Because at the earlier stages, take it as this, as simplified as this. When you have a blank paper and you have a pen, no matter what you do, you scribble and write and do, but you started on a blank paper, right? Now get a printed out paper that has words. When you want to go scribble on it, it's really difficult. You're going to always find the resistance. Correct. So mature companies, it is very expensive for them to readapt, either not very expensive always in materialistic forms, but time, efficiency, energy spent for them to understand the new trends in the world. And this is where you jolt the business.
Now, very good and well said. Now, the next question, actually, the next question I would like to ask here. I can talk about my business, and then at Unity Partners, for example, we understand and we know, for example, how the portal help us, or the ERP system and the digital solution help us to increase the profitability, sales, and the client retention. We don't know by how much because we cannot measure the growth, but we know also at the same time that's reduced our overhead cost by 30%. Do you have any data? I'm sure because you deal with so many companies. What the really exact percentage once come to by having a digital solution in-house that will increase your profitability and how much will decrease your cost?
Do you want a sales answer or do you want a real answer?
No, the real answer. We need people really to know and understand the value of. Yeah.
No, I do understand what you're saying. So, like, to be very frank, I believe it exponentially grows. Definitely to the better. Why? Let's drop the CRM for example and take it from an accounting perspective. Today, you said overhead costs. You buy furniture, you buy, let's say, cars, you buy things, and a very simple thing that you can track on Odoo, for example, is your asset management. You see your depreciation, you see when is a good time for you to sell, you understand your business not only from a operational perspective, you understand your business as well from asset perspectives. So yes, you can now take more decisions in lowering your overhead costs, but with confidence. Before, let's say, if you're just taking it on the assumption of, let's say, if I switch from a normal white light to, let's say, an eco light, it's going to lower, of course, it's going to lower my doable. But this is an assumption, right? But when I know for a fact that, look, this is my data. I know that I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. Here I can sell, so I have a revenue coming in. Here I can do something. Here I can lower my, let's say, at departmental level, let's say, combine departments and all of that. So you're taking decisions based on real data that you already have inputted. So in that case, it's a given fact that you're going to exponentially grow. It's not going to take you back.
Good.
Diplomatic answer.
Yes. So, yeah, if I understand, you don't have study or case study of what would be the
it goes from one place to another. Yeah, you know, like for example, today, let's say you take decisions in your leadership skills might be different than other companies' leadership skills, right? So what you do, for example, might have a bigger impact than other companies or vice versa as well.
Yeah.
But it's your data.
Now I have a question.
There you go.
And the question I have probably has nothing to do with the customer or sales. We want to focus on the human capital and the people here.
Nice.
How do you think digital solution, CRM or portal, whatever it is, having that in place will motivate the people and the work environment? And for example, I can see it in a way, it's easy to track, easy to record, easy to put. But how the impact is, there's anything you think from your perspective that will motivate our employees by giving them the adequate CRM system that's make their life easy?
Nice question. I believe in any way, when you increase the efficiency of someone's work, okay, or when you give them a tool that makes their life easier. For example, you know that you have a set criteria. For me to do, let's say, a certain activity, I need to get someone else's approval, I need to go here, I need to go there, I need to speak to multiple team members. So there's time being wasted and there's energy being spent. So for example, let's say my normal job is to do 30 calls and to adapt with those 30 calls. Imagine Ana Masalan, those 30 calls used to take me 5 hours between the running and the calling in between and speaking to my team member and all of that. If you can lower this to 2 hours of pure work with the highest outcome, you're giving them the tools, right? Because they work 8 hours a day, and then if they have 2 massive hours, and
that's my statement about 30%.
There you go.
Correct, right?
Yes, okay. Definitely. And you're making them easier, right?
You know what? I'll go back to my previous experience as a human resources. I don't want you to get much confused.
No. I'm enjoying
from
this.
Hospitality HR. I think people need tools. They need to enable them to operate and to work and be efficient. Also, it's helping setting the expectations when it's come to or balance the scorecards when it is in the system. So you know what's your revenue to achieve, your customer satisfaction, what it should be, and you set that one clear, and people know where they stand. There's no ambiguity, and manage it through a proper system in place and very transparent. So tools available, transparent system, data, easy, simple. I would say people really will enjoy it when they work in an organization. They have digital and they will be proud to be part of that organization because it's digital, it's simple, its expectations are clear, and that's my humble opinion from my human resources background. Great. Now, people look to the digital. There's so many elements which I personally believe the success of business. Previously, I used to say it goes to three things: proper marketing, a proper financial, and the proper training. Now, when I look back to this, and I used to say that for the past like 20 years, now I'll say first, proper digital workplace. If you don't adapt and integrate your digital in your business, you will succeed, but it will take you longer period to succeed.
True.
And that's how the digital platform and digital solution exist. And I believe companies from day one, doesn't matter the number of employees, need to start with that one, having the digital place, put it first and say, then call it your business. What would you like to add on what I said, and what you would recommend for the new startup? I'm starting business today. This could be barber shop, it could be service industry, it could be whatever it is. What the advice? I'm not as a salesperson.
as my
your business.
Fine.
What advice you would give to those companies startup?
Sure. Let's. I love the way you are crossing between your old, let's say, achievements and today, and how did you cross over from HR to this? If I'm gonna talk about it, I say like you said, three major pillars back then: proper marketing, proper training, and then you would have, let's say, the proper financials. The people that adopted digitalization at the earlier stage, you saw they were rarely affected when it came to COVID, right? And the fact was, why? Because nothing changed from you being at home working or you being present in the office, or of course the human interactions. Definitely.
I like what you said, because I would like to add one thing to this. And you are absolutely right. When the COVID hit, and I remember and it was March 2020, I was in India coming back to Dubai on the 10th of March. 8 days later, we were shut down, and we need to have a business continuity. And then that's in my previous role. And then we checked, okay, in terms of technology, how we can start, because we started in my previous organization, we're born digital, we were 97%. So what was missing is a few signature, which we find DocuSign solution, etc. So during the COVID, in that month, we were running a business and we were profitable. So we didn't really lose, and still the growth in the business was up there because we were really ready. Not because we knew COVID is coming.
Definitely.
Because we born digital, we were ready, and we went. Whatever was missing, we analyzed it with the IT, and we found that solution. Now,
I can assure you, what was missing was just the new formalities of communication. Not in terms of operation. Everybody was just looking to, okay, this is new, fine, what do we do? Let's learn how to communicate. Okay, fine, let's go on Google Meet, or let's say we'll meet in a Zoom room, fine, khalas, okay, here, there. You adapted really quickly, but it didn't jolt your business, so you continued, right? Today, my advice to most of the startups is start correct. Start being born digital, just like you said, and if you realize in our all conversation, no matter how much industry we jump from one place to another, retail, service, manufacturing, anything, barbershop, whatsoever, you do realize that yes, all of them fall under the category that, yeah, we can use these. Okay, either from an inventory perspective.
Yeah, even barber, your customer, the data is there.
Definitely.
You send your promotion, you introduce. Yeah.
My father actually started the first barbershop here in Dubai, okay, back in the 70s. And for the longest time, he did not like to move out and like extend or franchise or whatsoever. But pre-corona times, my dad started adapting the digital formats. Okay, he set up a system called Fresha, okay, and it runs perfectly in his business. So it shows him his inventory, his purchases, but the most important part is his customer data. Today, the personalization to the customer makes them very happy that they can come back. They know that, okay, well, this is the services that she would like, this is what she wants, this is la, 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 la. And it actually helped him scale up furthermore than opening another shop.
I like what you said, because myself, that's see how traditional and small business is. I use one grooming center, I wouldn't mention the name. They have an application. I take an appointment, I book an appointment, I choose the therapist, I choose the services what I have. They have my data. If the therapist which I use, for example, or the barber who I use, go on vacation, they send me a message. I know you, and
it's been a while.
Very personalized.
Come back. Exactly.
Yeah, came back. Your barber came back from vacation. We're ready to receive you. So build also relationship, and that's we talk about very traditional business here. Thank you very much for this example, very good example, and inspired by your dad business. The question I always ask myself question when I'm going to refer to my previous background. We use technology, different platform, different portal, but we found out every platform are good in one thing. When I go back to hospitality, the CRM for hospitality was like only few, 2, 3, which is internationally known and most of the hotel are using. Where our finance procure something else for purchasing and for bookkeeping, etc. And HR gets something completely different, and we keep changing. So we end up using 4 or 5 different digital solution, and the annual maintenance is high, and sometimes the system doesn't integrate, or it's integrate, but there's always like error in the system because it's not the main one. Where I can see in Udo or some other similars, they have all in one.
Yes.
And that's helping really organization. Nevertheless, it is you'll find that they are good in one thing, for example, CRM, sales, whatever it is, and they lack in something else. What efforts do you think what do you think you can do better to overcome this and to enable you to provide 360-degree solution to the client where they don't need to use any other solution? Everything exists in this platform. One-stop shop.
One-stop shop. Actually, this goes with our strategy. When we first initially started as Odoo, our pricing strategy was the following. You used to acquire your users and plus acquire from our 42 applications.
Okay.
When I say 42 application, I mean like, let's say CRM, sales, inventory, purchase, manufacturing, help desk, subscriptions, all of these, POS. Back then it was based on the customer and based on what they want to shop. And we used to consult them, right? And then we switched this entire strategy into an all-in-one shop. Today, you acquire a user, you unlock the whole system. You want to use the whole system? Great. You don't want to use the whole system? It goes back to you. Now, when you have 42 applications, it brings down the whole idea where you were talking about. Today, I have a POS running somewhere. I have my CRM running somewhere. I have my accounting running somewhere. Look, now you get the 360 vibe. All the applications that you see, we have a huge R&D team that caters to understanding our customer. When we first released, we have 2 segments of Odoo. So we have the enterprise level, which is everybody that uses Odoo. And then you have the community level. The community level is free of charge. People go and work on it and they feed it. And we learn from it. So we understand the industries. Today, when we understand the real estate industry, خلاص, it becomes an adapted industry in the system. When we understand the hospitality industry, it becomes an independent base in the system where you can download an industry module and it will give you the entire workflow.
Wow.
Right? And this is where you can start catering to. The second point is, again, Odoo is an open API. So integrating it with anything is very simple. It has an open, other than the idea of it being an open source, it's easily customizable. Why? Because it's a low code. Low code means anybody can come in and change and fix a field, add automation, add any of this.
To suit their business.
To suit their business. Yeah. So this is how we actually learn from you to make our system better.
So what I can take today from this conversation, and I want to take the advantage of having you here, and you allow me to announce it to our audience, is we would like really to empower all the startups, any companies, our customers at Unity Partner, any companies that come on board. I would like them to have the test and feel of the CRM, and not only CRM, on the digital platform. And I would like to offer all our clients the first year subscription for free. If they like it, they see the value, they can carry on for the future, which I believe they will do. Doesn't matter how big the company is, they can start from day one, and they can be born digital with Unity Partners. Is that probably something we can collaborate on and work together with Odoo?
Definitely, it's part of our vision. So Fabian, our founder, his love was to actually find a way to enable and to empower all SMEs. So what we can achieve together with Unity Partners and ourselves is the one app free, all right, where they can have the look and feel, and as well make them understand how the system actually works. And plus, we will always give them a complimentary consultancy from any of our team members to understand their business and see a demo of how they can run on the system as well, and we can proceed from there.
That's amazing and very, very generous, I must say. And thank you very much for this, and definitely we will have another separate chat about this one. Now, having said all these things about enterprise, digital, one-stop shop, 360-degree solution, and etc., is there an ongoing development, for example, like omni-channel solution integrated in this? Is there something, what the future plan for Odoo to cover? What the other, you mentioned 42. Do you have another 10 coming up?
Yeah,
so you can share, of course.
Definitely. Yeah. So basically, every year in October, we release our Odoo experience. In Odoo experience, we release a new version. So today we're on version 17. In October, right now, we're on the verge of releasing V18. Version 18 is going to be a very, very, very high jump that Odoo is going to go through in terms of technology and in terms of omni-channels. Last year, we integrated with WhatsApp and we integrated with the ChatGPT and AI. Today, we're going to increase that furthermore. So we're going to release these definitely in October, and we can share the release notes with you privately.
Thank you.
And yes, the idea of growing or enabling and understanding more communities, definitely, this is something that we always keep on doing. And this is what we actually offer our clients. So today, as a SaaS solution, when you have a subscription with us and you're on a certain version, whenever we release a new version, you get upgraded immediately. So technically, your business is also growing with us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Will that have an interruption to the when you do the upgrade? Or?
Never. No. So it's always a scheduled upgrade. And at the same time, everybody in Odoo has a dedicated account manager from a customer success point of view, or an account manager from a partnership point of view. And from there, you always schedule it at the time where you guys are not operational. And that's the beauty of us having 13 offices all around the world. So by the time you're not functioning, an office in Mexico is functioning.
And you have strong presence in Dubai, which is very important from support perspective.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
So today, as I told you earlier, like we started in Odoo, we were 15 members, and now we're 695, aiming at the 1,000 mark very soon by the end of the year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, our growth is.
Are you using Odoo?
Definitely, we're one of the very few companies that uses its own software. Definitely, it runs completely on Odoo.
You know, that's very good. If you think about what you will advise all corporate service providers like us, like Unity Partners today, there are very many reputable companies in the market, and they onboard the clients, and I noticed, because I have so many friends in the industry, they like to go to build their own enterprise. It costs them a lot of money, sometimes doesn't serve the purpose, etc. My opinion, get the best in class, buy it from the shelf. You don't have to do the job. The job investment, research, everything is done, and it is cost effective to use Odoo or any other similar
100%.
best in class.
100%.
And what the message would like, because they will be watching this podcast, what do you think what advice do you give to those companies to empower their clients?
I believe,
and their business also.
Definitely. I believe never hold back on your business. If you feed your business will feed you. And don't take the faster option that you see right now. Always look future level and always plan your decisions. Especially in digital transformation and choosing an ERP, it's not something that is, yalla, I woke up today, it's like a new t-shirt, I'll wear it and I'll go. No, it's gonna affect you on the long run. And you stated a lot of things, like for example, the R&D, you're stating about customer support, you're talking about making sure that the system is always up to date with what the new future availabilities are in the market and how they can continue with that, versus you building your own. There's a lot of companies that are locally made. I always support them. There's also companies that are single-use softwares. I support them as well. And you never know. Certain companies are not forced, but they try to put a bandage of what they have a challenge with today. Yeah. Correct? And this also goes back with the whole conversation that we started with. If you're going to go digital, do it right. And this is my own personal advice.
Oh, thank you for the advice. No, absolutely, I 100% agree. We're living in the digital era, and absolutely all this solution exists for a reason, and all those solutions help entrepreneur, help employees and stakeholders. What's always we look at Unity Partner is we put first our employees, our stakeholder, our customer first. The customer is the center of our brand. We just want to make sure is getting served, taken care of. We know our customer well. We know what they need, and we know what in the future what they would require. And that's definitely, without the help of a digital platform, I don't think we will succeed achieving this. And we're building personalized, even the personalized service is built around it, from onboarding through the customer cycle experience until offboarding. We maintain relationship with our clients because of the help of strong and capable system like yours. Great. I think I love our conversation. It's a pleasure having you here. I think it's an amazing opportunity.
It was a beautiful talk. It's
100%. We look for more.
Definitely. That's also the industry talks that we were talking about. So hopefully,
I'm down.
Let's take it another notch.
Great.
Definitely.
Ossama, pleasure having you here at Unity
Thank
Partners.
You so much.
We look forward to another podcast, another discussion, talking more about digital, about technology and how that can empower any business and help our clients.
Definitely. It is a pleasure for me to be here at Unity Partners. I love what you guys are doing, and let's hope for more.
Great. So let's collaborate.
Definitely.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Cheers.